Well, here we are. Exactly where those of us who begged the people we knew not to vote for the former guy, we are exactly where we knew we would be if he ever got elected. I went for a 7.5 mile hike trying to work through my anger and disgust over this, and also to try to think about a video, because I know a lot of you are hurting too, and I know it helps to hear uh, from other people who are going through it too. And I've gotten some emails and some comments about a video, and I've been wanting to do one since I heard. um, I think what I want to talk to you about is talking to you from the experience of a survivor. And I am not alone. There are tens of millions, hundreds of millions of us in the country. And I'm not talking around the world, it's even worse. And I'm not just talking about survivors of molestation, of sexual abuse, of sexual assault, of rape. I'm talking about all of us who have survived sexual harassment at work, being groped on the subway, being date raped. There was one more. Sexually harassed at work, harassed on the street, catcalled on the street. Every single thing I have just mentioned, I am a survivor of. Every single woman who has experienced even one of those things is a survivor. Why? Because we all know that rape, right? Sexual assault, we all know it's about power. It's about control. It's not about the sex. The harassment that we have dealt with all of our lives throughout history, at work, on the street, on the subway, is also about power. It's also about control. I read a great book a couple years ago by Mona Eltahawy, I think is how you pronounce it. It's called The Seven Necessary Sins of Women and Girls. And she puts it brilliantly. This whole concept of catcalling, of groping, but especially catcalling and whistling, it's about men feeling entitled to our time, our attention, and our bodies. So it's exactly the same. It may not be physical abuse, it may not be physical assault, it is emotional abuse and emotional assault. So millions of women, more women than not, we are survivors. We know what it's like to be a woman in a patriarchal society in which strange men feel entitled to our time, our attention, our bodies. Every single woman in this country has been subject, whether you admit it or not. And every time I do a video about this, women are like, I prefer not to go through life being a victim. It's not about being a victim. It's about acknowledging reality, acknowledging our reality. I was watching a show last night, and one of the characters said, I don't dwell on the past. What did she say? I don't dwell on the past. I don't let it haunt me. So I just go on with my life rather than face it. Well, newsflash, as someone who's been in therapy a long time, if you do not deal with your past, it does haunt you, right? Ignoring your past, ignoring the reality, ignoring the truth about your experience as a woman in this country does not make it go away. It still haunts you in ways that you may not even be aware of. So almost every woman in this country has been subjected to the entitlement of some men and how they want to exercise control and power over us. Think about it. You're walking down the street, and I know, people who live in the country and drive everywhere, you may not have experienced this. I lived in San Francisco, and Berkeley, and Oakland, and I didn't have a car, and I took public transportation. So I was very much subjected to whatever happens on the street, to young women on the street, no matter how you look, how fat you are, how skinny you are, how attractive or unattractive society thinks you are. You could be in your grossest sweats. It doesn't matter. Every woman who has experienced, okay, so I go back to my story. So you're walking down the street, you're a young woman or not, whatever. You're walking down the street trying to just go to the store and buy tampons, right? Buy tampons and Ben and Jerry's, and you're catcalled. You're whistled at, you're catcalled. What does that do? It immediately makes the woman feel unsafe, so you immediately are more vulnerable. Because as someone who has been through this, you don't know how to react. If I ignore him, am I going to get spit in the face? Is he going to follow me? That has happened to me. I ignored the guy and he got all upset. You think you're too good for me, bitch? And spit in my face. So it immediately takes you out of yourself. It takes you out of your body. They take you out of your body and really take over it, right? It's about fear. It's about control. It's about manipulation. That's not the word I'm looking for. That's what it is. And that's what it is about. And that's why I am saying that just because you haven't been sexually assaulted does not mean you are not a survivor. Every woman, I guarantee, whether you're aware of it or not, every woman has experienced a man taking from them without their permission, whether it's their time, their attention, or their body. So as women, as survivors, today is a kick in the gut. Worse than the kick in the gut waking up the day after Election Day in 2016. I woke up that morning feeling unsafe in my own country, feeling sick and concerned, because as a survivor, as someone who has had my body taken by an entitled man, I couldn't believe that my country would excuse the behavior of a man who admitted to groping women without their permission, paying off porn stars, paying off other women who came forward and said he raped them. That's how little my country thought about me as a woman. We don't care. It's okay. He can do that. We like his policies. Make America great again. For men, this is worse. I woke up that morning just shaking my head that I mean so little as a woman in this country to millions of people who voted for him, that they just dismiss rape, sexual assault, sexual abuse. Oh, it's just locker room talk. It's just boy talk. Yeah, you know what? It's just locker room and boy talk unless you have been the victim of that. Right? It's so easy to write it off if it hasn't happened to you. And now, the result of his presidency, they've done it again. We don't matter. I don't matter. I am not even a second-class citizen. I am a mere vessel. That's it. I'm a vessel to stick things in and then make babies. That's it. That's it. I'm a vessel. My life doesn't matter. My sanity doesn't matter. My emotional well-being, my economic well-being, my dreams, my goals, my fucking beating heart does not matter. Because a clump of cells, and that's not what it's about. That is not what this is about. Women do not matter to so many people in this country. If we mattered, the 3 men who raped me, sexually assaulted me, beginning with my father, would be in fucking prison. But they're not. There's a statute of limitations. And who wants to come forward? One of the feminists that I follow on Twitter, she has a pinned tweet that says, "Can you name one woman who accused Bill Cosby of rape?" No, you can't. We don't, which means women don't do it for attention or money or notoriety, like a lot of people want to believe. No. No. We don't come forward because we're harassed. I mean, it's ridiculous. So this country allows rapists to go free. Brock Turner, Bill Cosby, actually, I finally. But I mean, we're finally starting, the Me Too movement is to changing that a little bit. But how much time do they do? We have been told over and over and over again in this country, our bodies do not belong to us. They aren't yours. If a man takes your body without your permission, oh, you must have been too drunk, or you must have been wearing too short a skirt or something. You know, it's not that important. It's really not that important. Should we really ruin a man's life over taking your body without your permission? Should we really? We've been told since birth that our bodies don't matter. That our bodies aren't ours. They don't belong to us because they're taken by uncles and fathers and family friends. They're taken by dates who blame us. Oh, you know, blue balls, whatever. Our bodies aren't ours when we're groped on the subway. Our bodies don't belong to us when we're catcalled on the street. Because it's not yours, it's mine. I have every right. You should be flattered if I say you're beautiful when you're just trying to go buy tampons and ice cream. We have been told over and over, that's the patriarchy, that's the country that we live in. We do not matter, we are just vessels. So why are we surprised? The Supreme Court just made it, sealed the deal. Just sealed the deal. Our bodies do not belong to us. They are not ours. We have no right to control our bodies. We have no right to our own health care. We have no right to decide whether or not we want to bring another human being into this world. No, we have no rights. You want to talk about going back to controlling other human beings? We have a history in this country of controlling other human beings, stealing their labor, chaining them up, whipping them so that we can extract as much labor out of them as possible. And now we're doing that to women? Taking away all of our rights so that we just produce babies for you? This is a little rambly, I know, because this is where we all are. And I just kind of wanted to share what's on my mind. This is what's on my mind as a survivor, as one of millions of survivors of almost every woman, I would say, in this country. This is how we are feeling today. You took my body away from me again. Again, you are telling me my body is not mine. And that's why this is so devastating. That's why this is just so infuriating. 50% of our population, you are telling me I can't control my own body. I am worth so little as a human being that my life doesn't matter. I'm feeling hopeless. I'm feeling helpless. I'm feeling like, you know, we want to talk shit about Sharia law. Are you kidding me? I'm thinking we're this close to Handmaid's Tale, and Clarence Thomas wants to look at same-sex marriage next. I mean, who the fuck are we? We're going backwards. It's infuriating, and I know I don't even know what my point is. My point is, the highest court in the land, as Elizabeth Warren said, 6 extremist, religious, crooked, lying justices imposed their religious and moral beliefs on every woman in this country. One more thing. I want to say, I've been saying this on Twitter. You want to talk about being a survivor and a kick in the face? 2 of the men who decided to take my rights away, to take to control my body, 2 of the men who just made it law that the state can control my body. I have no right over my body. 2 of those men have been accused of sexual harassment or sexual assault. Legibly, no, what's the word I'm looking for? Legitimately, viable, what's the word I'm looking for? So 2 men are very good. There's a fairly good chance 2 of these men are sexual assaulters. And we have given them the power to take away my right as my right as a woman to control my body. And 3 of those were appointed by a serial rapist. You want to talk about a fucked up world? Can you imagine any other portion of society where the very men who are abusing them get to have the power to further take away their autonomy and their rights? We are so messed up. We are so messed up. And now we're just vessels. We're just vessels. It's sick. We're sick. There is something seriously wrong with us. That the minority, religious, right-wing fanatics in this country got to put the right people on the court to take away the rights of millions and millions and millions of women when most of the country was against it. So I hope in some way this helps you. I don't know how it can. Leave your thoughts below. See you later.